Hello, everybody. Um, this is a little rundown on the earthquake that occurred. Let's see, this is Thursday, so it must have been Tuesday evening, about 9 o'clock at night, 9:45, something like that, 9:49, Kansas City time. So it was Wednesday morning, just a little bit before 3 a.m. in Russia when this earthquake occurred around the Kuril Islands. So there's kind of a map of the Western Pacific, and you got to see where this is in relation to Japan and Russia and China. Yeah, right there. Okay, and you'll notice also that these little lines here represent, like on this map, these lines represent the boundary of plates. So this occurred right at the boundary of the Pacific plate, and then another smaller plate over here that they're going to report as a microplate. You'll see how in the next few slides. So I'll just kind of read through this. A magnitude 7.5 earthquake occurred 218.6 kilometers south-southeast of Severokurilsk in Sakal Oblast, Russia, at a depth of 56.7 kilometers. That's about 35 miles deep. There have been no reports of damage or injuries, and the earthquake prompted a tsunami watch that was later canceled. Actually, this area gets so many earthquakes. This is one of the most earthquake-prone regions in the country. And thankfully, it's also, they tend to be high magnitude, but low damage, because it's not populated very well, you know. So we're out in the middle of the ocean, and then the earthquake can be felt in some places, but very, very minor, right? So you read yesterday about the Mercalli scale. The modified Mercalli intensity scale is a 12-stage scale from 1 to 12, always reported in Roman numerals, that indicates the severity of ground shaking. Intensity is dependent on the magnitude, depth, local geology, and location. The islands closest to the earthquake only felt light shaking. So the islands nearby, out here and up here, felt light shaking, so you would have felt something around the 2, 3, or maybe a 4 level on the Mercalli. And this next map shows you kind of, as you move away from the epicenter of the earthquake, where does the shaking occur the greatest? And this is color-coded contour lines of magnitude Mercalli, modified Mercalli intensity. The total population exposure to a given MMI value is obtained by summing the population between the contour lines. The estimated population exposure at each MMI intensity is shown in the table. So they're saying that about 83,000 people felt a 2 or a 3, about 192,000 felt a 4, and that's as high as it got. So this is broken out into 3 level here, it looks like, and so 4 here, perhaps. Nobody felt anything higher. Next. Now, okay, so this shows plate movement, and you can see that, well, I'll just read through this. The blue arrows on this map show the motion of the Pacific plate with respect to the Okhotsk microplate and the much larger Eurasian plate. So we didn't really get into this before spring break, and this is probably the only exposure we'll get to microplates, but we have this. We've talked about big tectonic plates, and there are smaller microplates that exist. And those small microplates are kind of part of the bigger plate. As things move around our three-dimensional globe, they kind of help account for some of the motion of the plates. Okay, so the red star is the epicenter of the March 25th, 2020 7.5 magnitude earthquake. The Pacific plate subducts into the Kuril-Kamchatka trench beneath the Okhotsk microplate at a rate of about 80 millimeters per year, or 8 centimeters per year. So faster than the average. The average is around 3, so this one's really cooking. Now, this map is interesting. So I said that that this is where this earthquake occurred, and this plate here, the Pacific plate, is subducting this direction, following the direction of those arrows, underneath the Eurasian plate. This shows the depth where the earthquakes occur. So this is color-coded by depth. So the color code, the shallowest ones here are in purple, And then the deeper ones are in blue, the deeper than that are in green, then yellow, then orange, then red. And you can see the shallow ones all occur over here, and then they get deeper as you move to the northwest. As you move northwest, the earthquakes get deeper. So, and the one that occurred a couple days ago is here in blue, and it was a pretty good sized one too. The size, the magnitude is based on the size of the circle. So it looks like you get some bigger circles that occur deeper, some bigger circles that occur deeper, some that occur shallower. I don't see any big circles in the purple color. So it looks like to be the bigger earthquakes occur at depth, not the shallowest earthquakes. Don't produce the biggest earthquake. So the map on the right shows regional seismicity along the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. Earthquake depths in the Kuril-Kamchatka subduction zone increase from southeast to northwest as the Pacific Plate dies deeper beneath the Okhotsk microplate. I'm going to share this whole slideshow with you so you can have access to it at your own pace also. Now, this is like a cross-section of that earthquake, of this map here. So this map, we're looking at the things from above. Here we're looking at it from the side. This is the Earth's surface and the water level, and then this is depth. So if we plot up all those shallow earthquakes and then the deeper earthquakes, they fall in this pattern. So this is, you are visualizing the front of that Pacific Plate as it's getting pushed down beneath the Eurasian Plate. And you guys know what would happen down here, right? If you get deep enough, this should start to melt, and then you could look for volcanic activity, island arcs, right above this as this melts. Look what we have here. We have island arcs, Japan. This whole series of islands here. I think it might show up better on this one here, yeah. So if this is all diving right here, and then the deeper stuff gets to about here before it melts and makes an island arc, there's our island arc. And the reason it's curved is because of our blasted curved Earth. We have three-dimensional Earth, you guys know. Okay, so a little bit more information here. That's kind of beyond the scope of the class, but I wanted to put that in front of you. This will be information that you can use to answer the few questions that are posted on Canvas. Go be awesome.